Welcome back to another episode of Say What Needs to Be Said. I'm your host, Asante, Mr. Pick Six Samuel, two-time Super Bowl champion, Pro Bowler, all-pro record-breaking cornerback, and the last cornerback to intercept 50 interceptions during the 16-game season era. Welcome back to the show. Saturday Night Vibes, man. We got a lot to talk about. Let's have a good time tonight. And preseason has been fun, man. It's been pretty lit out there. We have some things to talk about. The quarterback competitions are getting intense out here for these NFL teams. Who will make the right decision? What quarterback will start? And let's get into it, man. How y'all doing? Make sure y'all hit the likes and subscribe button, man. At the same time, shout out to the man above in the chat, man. Y'all talk to me, we talk back. You know how it go, man. Y'all know. Saturday Night Vibes, bring that energy, man. How y'all doing out there, man? How y'all doing? It has been exciting. I can't complain, man. This preseason has been fun, man. It's been fun evaluating and watching these games, watching these young men compete. And that Raiders versus 49er game was very intense. The first couple of series on offense and defense was like a regular season competition game. It was like regular season. Geno Smith went deep on the first two or three passes. Geno Smith went deep on the 49ers, like he was trying to make a statement or something. Like this is the new regimen for the Oakland Raiders. And Pete Carroll, they went deep, man. They only completed one pass, but they was trying to make a statement. You know, anytime these two rivals face off, man, expect both sides to take no prisoners, man. That is a rival that goes way back in the day. You know, and whenever those fans, the 49er fans and the Raiders fans have to be in the same vicinity or the same environment, that environment will be rowdy and the game will be physical. But let's talk about Ashton Jeanty, man. Ashton Jeanty got his welcome to the NFL moment, boy. And I want to break down his skills and things like that. He got his welcome to the NFL moment. Even though he was on the winning end of that big hit, you know, that he was a part of. That was a welcome to the NFL moment for Ashton Jeanty. He got a chance to feel the difference between college football to the NFL and what the difference feels like. And it's a big difference. And he learned real fast. He ain't running over athletes in the NFL as easy as he did in college football. These are the best of the best, buddy. This ain't Boise State. Shout out to Boise State, you know. But at the same time, Ashton Jeanty has to find out, you know, he had to find out these hits hurt a lot worse too at the same time. Because you don't understand, you don't know what you're getting yourself into. He's used to playing against average football players in college and having his way with them. You know, he met his match and he got that feeling and understand what the NFL feels like. But then he went back and got his revenge and took it out on a 185 cornerback. It's all good, man. You got to get it how you live some kind of way. But all in all, Ashton Jeanty will need to learn how to make adjustments to his game, how he runs the ball, and how to and not have to take big hits at the point of contact all the time, because that won't last long. He needs to add more agility to his game so his career can last longer and avoid, injuries and things like that. We don't want to put that out there, but that's the name of the game. You play football. That's how it goes. Jeanty doesn't want to make a living, man, running over defenders. I just said that won't last long, and it's going to make him susceptible to injury. So, I hope someone talks to him. You know, I remember Jerome Bettis. Y'all don't know who Jerome Bettis is, the big bust back in the days for Pittsburgh Steelers. That was one of the main things he had to learn how to deal with, is not coming to the game with the mindset of just running over defenders because he was so big and they called him the bust. And he can easily do that. And it wore him down, and it was a lot of wear and tear on his career. And the same thing with Ashton Jeanty. That's a part of his game. He has low gravity, he has low gravity sense of balance, real good balance. And it's hard to bring down. He somehow just bounces off tackles, and that's how he makes a living. But in the NFL, 17 weeks, 18-week seasons, man, that won't last that long, man. And guys are bringing that thunder. Squatting 600 pounds, 500 pounds, benching 500 pounds, 400 pounds, the same difference, man. Everybody's on the same level. So shout out to Ashton Jeanty, and let's see how he changes up his running style, or if he remains the same, and let's see how long it lasts, you know. But New York Jets versus the New York Giants. And man, let me tell you, the poor Jets can't find a legit quarterback to save their lives. They tried with Aaron Rodgers, and that was a fail. Aaron Rodgers let them down. Of course, he got injured or whatever, but he couldn't bounce back. And Justin Fields is going to have Garrett Wilson pissed off all season, man. Dang, Justin Fields. Justin Fields has to be the most inaccurate quarterback in all of football right now. Justin Fields is he just can't get it done. And teams continue to sign Justin Fields to make him their starting quarterback and not getting, and nothing is changes. Everyone is getting the same result. It's a huge challenge for Justin Fields just to complete a simple pass. It was hard for him to complete simple passes out there. He went 1 for 5 for 4 yards or something like that. Justin Fields makes playing quarterback look almost impossible. First-year head coach Aaron Glenn will have a frustrating first season if he has to depend on Justin Fields to be the quarterback during the season, all regular season. I don't see the slightest bit of progress from Justin Fields, man, since being drafted to the Chicago Bears. And this is his third team in 5 years. Fields is going backwards, man. No progression. Justin Fields reminds me a little of Anthony Richardson, man. Similar in size. They both run about the same speed. Accuracy is about the same. But I give the nod in accuracy to Richardson, you know. And they compete with the same attitude. You barely know if they're on the football field or not. You don't see anyone taking command of the team, doing something to exert themselves to win the games or any of that stuff. You barely know these quarterbacks are on the football field. Justin Fields' first series, man, was so terrible. His coach didn't even want to call pass plays anymore. Justin Fields threw 2 bad passes and killed the first drive. The offensive coordinator is discouraged to pass the ball because of his freaking quarterback. The second series, it started off with all run plays. That's how discouraged the offensive coordinator was because of his quarterback. Started off with all run plays, even on 3rd and 8, to get the first down. It worked. He got the first down. But this is the professional football league. And then he tried, after so many run plays, yes, a play action. That works perfect. Suck the defense up. That doesn't work. Justin Fields, sack, whatever. None pass. Then finally, after a full quarter of football, Justin Fields finally threw a good, accurate pass to Garrett Wilson. And that was broken up. It was good defense by the defender, by the cornerback. Finally, a good pass. He zipped it in there, threw it accurate, on time, everything. Finally. The Jets have Justin Fields under contract for the next 2 seasons. They have to deal with that. But in my opinion, they need to go ahead and eat that and start looking to move on. If the Jets want to do anything, they have to start looking to move on. They can't afford to waste any time with Justin Fields. Yes, I understand they signed him to a 2-year deal and he has $30 million guaranteed and so on and so forth. That's how it goes in NFL now. They are giving away money. They have to move on. They have to eat that and move on. Aaron Glenn's best chance to win is to go with that guy, Adrian Martinez. The backup, go with Adrian Martinez. He looks 3 times better than Justin Fields. 1 for 5 in any game, preseason, whatever, that is horrible. You know, Martinez came in there and gave the Jets some spunk. You know, I could see Adrian Martinez and Garrett Wilson have an ultimate connection, that 1-2 punch, because he's going to be able to at least give them the football on easy bang-bang plays, intermediate passes, quick 5-yard hitches, fade routes, and so on and so forth, man. Justin Fields He just doesn't have it in him, man. So we're gonna see what the Jets do in the future. Aaron Glenn is a new first-year head coach, and let's see how he gets it done. But now the New York Giants, Jaxson Dart. I don't know, man. Seems like New York Giants may have found a quarterback after Eli Manning is gone. It wasn't Daniel Jones. It might be Jaxson Dart. And it might be time for the Giants to make their move with Jaxson Dart after having his second consecutive good game. Is it time for the New York Giants to move on and not start Russell Wilson and go ahead and throw the rookie in the fire? Because I believe these older guys, man, don't have what it takes anymore. Tom Brady got everyone believing it can happen again. And maybe it can, but not with any of these older guys at quarterback that I'm seeing out here. They just don't have what it takes. That's just my opinion. I do think the head coach Brian Daboll is making Jaxson Dart and Russell Wilson compete for that #1 spot, though. I do believe that. He gave Wilson a lot of playing time in this game, for Wilson to be at this point in his career. And then he snatched Russell Wilson right after that interception. I don't know what that meant, if he didn't want to continue to play Russell Wilson and things continue to look bad and, everyone make a big deal about it in New York and continue and call for Jaxson Dart. I don't know what that was about. But he did give Wilson a long look to evaluate him. He gave him a long look, which is uncommon for a player like Russell Wilson in his 10th, 11th, 12th season. Brian Daboll has already named Russell Wilson the starter heading into the first game of the season, but I think that's a possibility. There's a possibility that may change. Strong possibility. Daboll wants to win. He comes from the New England coaching system. You understand? And Jaxson Dart, man, he runs that offense the way Daboll likes it to be ran. Yeah, he is. Yes. Very efficient, keeping the ball moving, making completions. Stay efficient. Get the ball down the field. I'm not a believer, like I said before, in letting players waste the season by sitting out on the sideline and so-called learning from whoever, whatever. I think that doesn't change anything. Players will gain maturity and experience regardless if they're on the sideline, on the field, or whatever. Put Jaxson Dart in right now. I see Jaxson Dart on that football field. He has more enthusiasm. He's more enthusiastic about being the star. And he will put it on the line for the New York Giants more than Wilson will to win that game. His will to win the game will be on a higher level than Russell Wilson. And that's for sure. That's for sure. How y'all feel, man, about this quarterback competition, man? Quarterback competition is you got Jaxson Dart, got Dillon Gabriel, Shedeur Sanders. And man, I wish Shedeur Sanders would have played today so we could have gave an evaluation of all three quarterbacks. But unfortunately, he didn't get to play. There's a better plan, and it's going to work out. And we're about to get into that. Dillon Gabriel versus Shedeur Sanders. This quarterback competition between Dillon Gabriel and Shedeur Sanders is for real, man. It's for real. Dillon Gabriel surprised me, and I'm sure he surprised a lot of people by how he performed today in his first preseason game. But I can't believe Kevin Stfansky really set Shedeur out of the game to start Dillon Gabriel, because he maybe scared Shedeur will outplay Dillon Gabriel, or maybe make Dillon Gabriel look bad. But Dillon Gabriel finally got his chance. And took the field in his first preseason game, his preseason debut. And he didn't look bad at all. I can't lie. Dillon Gabriel didn't look bad at all. Except for on that pick six he threw. And the problem with that pick six, let me break that down for you, what was going on in his mindset and why he made that error. Dillon Gabriel used to getting the football out quickly. That's the name of his game and what he's been taught since coming from Oregon Ducks, right? He gets the ball out quickly. That's what he's used to. He has a rhythm in his head, get it out, right? And on that pick six, He just needs to throw the ball away because he was just trying to get it out quickly. He has a clock in his head like someone is coming in. Don't take the sack, you know. And also he fumbled the football. 2 small mistakes. Well, not small mistakes, I'm sorry. Meaning like getting the ball out quick, he could easily throw that away. The handoff, you understand, it was two mistakes that can easily be fixed, you know? I didn't see anything from Dillon Gabriel that was too concerning to me that we shouldn't call him an NFL caliber quarterback. You understand what I'm saying, where I'm going with this? But my guy Dillon Gabriel is the smallest thing on the football field. Dillon Gabriel is the smallest thing on the football field. But let's check out Dillon Gabriel before the game, focused heading into the locker room. He is focused and understand what is at stake. Let's check him out. See old Dillon focus. He focused, baby. Dillon Gabriel look like, man, he said it's time to compete. Got my head on, you know, I don't know how they do it from where you from in Hawaii and things like that, how they focus. But I know one thing about them Hawaiians. They are competitive and they don't back down from nothing. And you can see that Dillon Gabriel kind of has that mentality and that that character about him, you know? Shout out to Dillon Gabriel. Shout out to Dillon Gabriel. He competed well today. He competed well. Dillon Gabriel started the game off on fire, man. He started the game off on absolute fire, but was mainly intermediate throws and quick passes, which is very effective. And that's how the Cleveland Browns offense is supposed to be ran. Then Gabriel made a lazy mistake by not throwing that football away. Made a lazy mistake by not throwing that football away. Very simply, just throw it away. You know, instead he tried to force the football. And then that led to 6 points for the Eagles. Kevin Stfansky, head coach, already said 2 players in the same position, in the same place, they have to fix that. And he seemed very upset about that, right? Then after Dillon Gabriel turned the ball over for 6 points, right? After he turned the ball over and gave up 6 points, I wanted to see how he bounces back, right? How he bounces back. Does he tuck his tail and become a more scarier football player or quarterback? You know, and I didn't see that. Dillon Gabriel stayed and played pretty consistent. The only thing I noticed was his efficiency with the ball, you know, making completions, taking sacks and so on and so forth, went down just a little bit. You know, his accuracy, you know, just the game was catching up. Now, the first 2 series, you understand, when these teams come out in the first series, these are scripted plays. The first 15, 20 plays are scripted. So don't really judge the quarterback off the first 10, 15 plays. They are scripted and usually are the best plays in kind of 80 to 90% the chance that they will work. You understand what I'm saying? You know? But I like the way Dillon Gabriel handled his adversity and bounced back, because that's important for a quarterback and the leader of a football team, because things will happen. You can't stop that, you know? And he bounced back pretty well. Now, as far as the only problem I see with Dillon Gabriel is his arm strength. I didn't really see any deep passes, right? And that's on purpose. The Cleveland Browns offensive coordinator Kevin Stfansky, they didn't really call deep passes because that's not a part of Dillon Gabriel games. He's not the one to sit out there and throw bombs, right? Intermediate strikes, play action, and boot passes are his type of plays, right? But Dillon Gabriel arm strength doesn't stop him from making those tight throws, right? His arm strength, he can still make those tight throws despite the lack of arm strength. you know. But those 2 turnovers is tough to deal with, and it's hard. It's a hard pill to swallow. And Kevin Stfansky, head coach, he's trying to harp on that. And that's why y'all see me as a cornerback talk about interceptions. And I don't know why we want to say a cornerback is good, because they can cover someone good, and you have other cornerbacks that's making turnovers. You see, every team will talk about winning the turnover battle. And that's what Kevin Stfansky was talking about with his coach. I mean, with his quarterback and the team tonight or today, winning the turnover battle. And they lost the turnover battle mainly because of those 2 turnovers. But like I said, these are things that can easily be corrected by Dillon Gabriel. Easily be corrected. I think he did a pretty good job. Then I was wondering, I wanted to see how Dillon Gabriel handles the 2-minute drill. Man, I was hoping he'd get the ball with within the 2-minute drill. And they gave him a little bit of time, because I wanted to see him work this 2-minute drill, how he will handle it. And can Dillon Gabriel put points on the board in this 2-minute drill? Yeah, I thought he did a pretty good job for a rookie. He ultimately got his team 3 points out of the deal, right? So I think he did a pretty good job. It was a long field goal. Now they had to kick a long one. He had made a couple good passes. One pass was a screen, and the other one was breaking in route and zone, and that broke for a good amount of yardage. And he did his job. He did his job, right? Now, on my live on Thursday, right? When did I come on the last time? Thursday. On my live on Thursday, I said, when if Dillon Gabriel plays today, I said, watch out for the play caller in this game, if and when Dillon Gabriel plays. I said, watch out and see how his abilities limits the offensive coordinator play selection. I didn't see much limitations. I'm going to always come back and correct myself if I make a bold statement, right? And I can't lie, I didn't see much limitations. But I also didn't see any deep passes, like I mentioned earlier. Didn't see any deep passes. Maybe not part of his game. I think his only issue will be that, attempting deep passes. He doesn't have the strongest arm, like I said. And he also doesn't have a problem making those tight throws despite that lack of strength. I don't see his size being a major issue as well. He was able to see find lanes to throw in easily. He was able to eye his targets down and make those plays and connect with his receivers with no problem. I didn't see his height, his size being a problem. I thought maybe it would. I thought maybe the Cleveland Browns had to use more play action, boot concepts, and rolling out, but they didn't. Maybe the left-handed, him being a left-handy helps out a little bit, you know? I can't say it won't cause him no trouble, but at this time, it's not causing no trouble. But at some point during the NFL career, during blitzes, you know, you have these big 6'8", 6'7", defensive ends all in your face, defensive tackles. It may cause a problem, but right now I don't see it being a problem. Dillon Gabriel was pretty solid in his debut, all in all. His most impressive series, to me, in my opinion, was that second series. His second series was the most impressive to me. He was very accurate with his passes and finding the soft coverages to keep the drive alive, to score 6 points, to get 6 points on the board for his team. Very accurate. You know, whenever there was soft coverage, he would make that 5-yard hit, 5-yard connection, and keep the chains moving. One pass in particular in that drive in the first quarter, Dillon Gabriel threw a pass towards the sidelines. It was towards the right sideline for a first down. I mean, that pass right there, that was an elite throw. That pass in the first quarter to keep the drive alive on the right hash, on the right sideline, that was an elite throw. There was a lot of pressure on the wide receiver. Dillon Gabriel made an elite throw. Like I said, overall, man, he was solid. He was pretty good. Pretty good, despite the turnovers. Now, on the other hand, Shedeur Sanders was afforded less opportunities before he took the field in his debut, right? Shedeur Sanders was afforded less opportunities. And he still outplayed Dillon Gabriel. Yeah. Shedeur was afforded less opportunities. He had less time to prepare for this preseason game. He didn't get as many reps. He wasn't looked at as going into that game as going to be the quarterback to take the field. So he doesn't need to be prepared as much as the other quarterbacks. So he wasn't afforded the best opportunity. When Shedeur Sanders took the field for the Browns, it was their first preseason game. Now, in the first preseason game, there isn't much preparation. Nope, there's not much preparation. We're still competing against each other, trying to find out who the starters. If the game is on Saturday, we might start looking at names on Thursday and then understanding who we're playing. There isn't much game planning. So Shedeur Sanders played in that game off of pure talent, skills, and what he learned in his past from his being with his daddy in Colorado and so on and so forth, and whoever his coaches was along this journey, you know. Now, trust me, the Cleveland Browns wasn't trying to do Shedeur Sanders any favors, especially naming him the starter after getting minimal reps in practice. That's just the fact. They wasn't trying to do him any favors. Now, let's check out Dillon Gabriel and Shedeur Sanders' stats. Both playing one game so far this preseason. I don't know why they're only playing one game, but that's the way it is. Dillon Gabriel, 13 for 18, 72% completion rating. That's pretty good. 172 completion, 72.2 completion percentage. 143 yards total, 7.9 average, 0 TDs, 1 interception, 72.2 quarterback passing rating. And we already know about Shedeur Sanders and his immaculate first preseason game. It was off the chain. 106 quarterback rating, 2 TDs, no turnovers. Dillon Gabriel won in the completion percentage, right? He was more accurate. I don't know. He got the ball out. Maybe he was throwing shorter passes. I don't know. I didn't break all of that down, you know. But that's where we at. That's where we at. Those are those two individual stats from one preseason game. Who do you think deserves to be the starter out of these two players right here? Y'all let me know. We not a hater over here to say what needs to be said. We just like fair competition. We want to see people compete and the best man win. That's all we want over here, say what needs to be said. The difference in these two performances are the turnovers, along with the touchdowns. Who throws more touchdowns while throwing the least amount of interceptions or turning the football over is the name of the game. Which quarterback can throw more touchdowns and at the same time throw the least amount of interceptions as the quarterback of the team is the name of the game, along with keeping drives going alive, high percentage pass completions, high pass completion percentage ratings and things like that. You know, I had to get that. Let me get some water. But yeah, that's the name of the game. And you know, to throw touchdowns sometimes, man, you can't wait until you get into the red zone, 20 and closer to the end zone. That's when it gets super hard to score touchdowns. You have to be able to throw the ball from the 50 and the 40, take those shots to be able to score touchdowns, catch the defense off guard. If you If Dillon Gabriel can't get the ball down the field from way back there, it will be extremely hard for Dillon Gabriel to put points on the board. That's just my breakdown from my opinion. Like I said, if he proves me wrong, again, I'm going to come back up here and be the first to admit it and change my statement. Now, who do y'all think won the job if it's over as of today? Because when that depth chart comes out, for the quarterbacks for the first season, for the regular season, Shedeur Sanders should be named the backup quarterback. When the depth chart comes out, Shedeur Sanders should be named the official backup quarterback. He has earned that. He has definitely earned that despite everything he has been through. Shedeur Sanders has earned that. I'm not going to say name him the starter just yet. No. I'm not going to say he earned the right to be the starter as well. But he earned the right to be named the backup quarterback as of now. Joe Flacco the starter for now, for sure. Shedeur Sanders the backup, and Dillon Gabriel is third on the depth chart. And it could still be an ongoing competition. But that should be the order. Anyone disagrees in the chat, y'all let me know. Anyone disagrees, y'all talk to me. Now, I'm wondering how will Kevin Stfansky handle this last preseason game? Is the competition over at quarterback for now, or does the competition continue through the final preseason game? I hear everyone talk about the final preseason game is a dress rehearsal and so on and so forth. Does the dress rehearsal mean is competition still? Or are we just learning how to get prepared for a regular season game and things like that? Because if they are saying Dillon Gabriel won the competition, they're going to give him the job and things like that, man. It's going to be very sad out here in these YouTube streets and these podcast streets and just everyone that supports Shedeur Sanders. Because, you know, letting someone down like that it will be awful. But again, I'm optimistic. I really believe that Shedeur Sanders won this battle. They can continue this battle. This battle could continue through the season. Because I think, like I said, Joe Flacco is going to be the quarterback temporarily for the Cleveland Browns whenever he's named the starter. Kenny Pickett, we don't even know what Kenny Pickett could do. If we're going to go off his past and his history of who he used to be and what he's done for other teams, if they decide to put him out there, I guess they want the number one pick in the draft. That's what that's going to be. You understand what I'm saying? You know. But let's get into it, man. I want to talk about this. One of these owners of an NFL team that is very popular and we all know about. Jerry Jones, Mr. Jerry Jones. And I never understood, right? I never understood or could figure out why Jerry Jones is always so adamant to publicize any details surrounding his team, as he's recently done with Micah Parsons. Micah Parsons about his contract situation. Now, I've recently learned that Jerry Jones believes all publicity is good publicity, whether good or bad. Yeah, that's what Jerry Jones believes. And I thought this was interesting on Jerry Jones' approach as an owner of a professional football team, particularly an NFL football team. The Dallas Cowboys, America's favorite team, America's team, right? You better believe Jerry Jones want that title to last forever, too, for the Cowboys. And the most recent victim of Jerry Jones' antics, we all know the Micah Parsons over this contract dispute. Jerry Jones obviously didn't cut the check for Micah Parsons, but he tells reporters there isn't any time limited to getting Micah Parsons' deal done. Here is our guy. Jerry Jones continues to believe all publicity is good publicity. That Jerry Jones say Even Michael Parsons, man. If y'all haven't seen, reporters were trying to talk to Michael Parsons. It's like even Michael Parsons is tired of the BS. Michael Parsons is tired of telling his business to the media or talking about issues he having with Jerry Jones. He's tired of it. He don't even want to talk about it on his podcast no more. He done gave it up and told reporters, my lips are zipped. I am done talking about it. And one thing about Dallas, as I'm reading between the lines of what Jerry Jones is saying, that all publicity is good publicity, and he loves to talk to the media. Jerry Jones likes a little toxic environment over there, up there in Dallas for the Cowboys. He likes it a little toxic because you know why? A toxic environment sells, you know? A toxic environment sells. So let's check it out. Let's hear what Jerry Jones, Mr. Jerry Jones, has to say. Mr. Jerry Jones says, all right, let's put it up here. Get it up on the screen. Mr. Jerry Jones say, I do believe if we're not being looked at, then I'll do my part to get us looked at. Jones said at the Netflix premiere of the new docuseries about him and his team. The beautiful thing for networks, or if you will, streaming companies, is that the NFL is a 365-day-a-year interest factory. A lot of programming. You have to spend as much to promote it as you do to make it. The Cowboys are a soap opera 365 days a year. When it gets slow, I'll stir it up. Jerry Jones said. And so, it's wonderful to have the great athletes, have the great players, but there's something more there. There's sizzle, there's emotion, and if you will, there's controversy. The controversy is good stuff in terms of keeping and having people's attention. That's your favorite owner, Jerry Jones. So myself and whoever else don't have to wonder. Don't have to wonder why you continue to see the owner of the Dallas Cowboys, Jerry Jones, in the front of a camera reporting about anything that's happening with his team, the Dallas Cowboys, because he's intentionally doing this because all publicity is good publicity in Jerry Jones' eyes. And he may have a point. He bought this team, like he said, off of handshake and a deal on the napkin back in the days, and he grew this team to what? The second, third most expensive team in the NFL, right? One of the highest valuations. I think he had a valuation in like $12 million or something like that. So we might be on the outside looking in, saying Jerry Jones look crazy, right? Talking about his players and contracts and things like that. But he has a method to all his madness, and it's working. It's working. He signed the Deion Sanders, the Troy Aikmans, the Michael Irvins, Emmitt Smiths. Man, he's continued to build that brand for a long time, so we can't fault him like that. How we doing out there, chat? How we doing, man? How we feeling about 12? How we feeling about Dillon Gabriel and all of tonight's performance? We have another rookie in Tyler Shuck. Tomorrow, we get to see him go down. But yeah, y'all talk to me in the chat. Y'all know it's our Q&A time. You know, it's our Q&A. We trying to talk. Talk to me, I talk back. Hey, make sure y'all hitting the like button. Make sure y'all subscribe. Make sure y'all let everyone know out there that say what needs to be said, that we got a lot to talk about, and they don't break it down like we do. We give the best perspective out of them all. King Cook, what it do? I see you, OG. Shout out to you. Amber in the building. She's talking about stutter. Let me put Amber up here. It says, Kevin kept saying something about being a competitor post-game. Yes, he did. And I was going to put his press conference up there, but I didn't want to get in any trouble with YouTube, so I left it alone today. But he's also talking about he will announce and tell us who are the quarterbacks heading in to this next preseason game, and my ears are open, and I can't wait to see. And for these injuries from Dillon Gabriel and Shedeur Sanders, now, we've been hearing for the past 2-3 weeks, I've been a part of NFL, so I understand how these injuries work. From a fan's point of view, do y'all believe Shedeur Sanders is injured and he wasn't able to participate? Do you believe Dillon Gabriel should have been a game time decision and his hamstring may be sore and he can't participate, maybe? Or is this a ploy to say, okay, the game isn't going right. Let's say his hamstring hurt and bring him out of the game. Like I say, you gotta understand these people have to protect themselves and protect their job. Everyone has a job to protect. The players, the coaches, the general managers, so on and so forth. But it's just weird that all these injuries are popping up and players can't play, and it's particularly the quarterbacks. They don't have to do much, not much running left and right and so on and so forth. But again, Dillon Gabriel, he did an awesome job. I don't think he had much of a challenge, being that during the game, listen, right, this is my point of view, right? As a quarterback, if you're a quarterback and I'm a defensive coordinator and I'm calling nothing but man-to-man coverages, and you could be the quarterback, that's easy reads for you. You just need to throw the ball in an accurate spot to the man. Everybody's covered man-to-man. You don't have to worry about any defenders being anywhere that they're not supposed to be because everyone is covering their man, so you can see. But when you're doing zone coverages and zone blitzes and you mixing things up and you're disguising, now you have to be able to read the coverages and make the correct throws. But today, I think he did a hell of a job, regardless of what the coverage was, but it was a lot of man-to-man coverage, and it didn't challenge him mentally as far as having to make it read. But when I did, like I say, I did give him his coverage, give him his credit, especially on third down when he found the soft coverages every time and made those connections and hit the right man and kept the drives alive. And that's what Cleveland wanted to see. But for some reason, when Shedeur played his first preseason game, it was a lot of more passing. They was just like wide open. They didn't have any concept of what they were doing for Shedeur. It's just you go out there and ball Shedeur, and hopefully Shedeur, you don't do as good as you did, so we can calm the noise down and we can concentrate on Dillon Gabriel. But Shedeur Sanders is a raw talent, and no matter the situations you put him in, he is going to go out there and succeed. And that's the way it is. Hopefully this last preseason game, we get to see a quarter from Dillon Gabriel, a quarter from Shedeur Sanders, something like that where, I don't know. But right now, Shedeur Sanders should be named the backup quarterback for the Cleveland Browns. Kevin Stfansky should be naming Shedeur Sanders the backup quarterback heading into the season. I don't know what else to say. It can continue to be an ongoing battle. And yeah, that's the truth. So, the Saturday Night Vibes, man, I had a good time with y'all. I hope y'all had a good time back. Hey, y'all make sure y'all hitting that like button. I don't see the lights getting up. Make y'all get them lights up. Get them lights up. And y'all let me know what we should talk about next. Yeah, Teddy Bridgewater sign, man. And that's sad, man, that I heard Teddy Bridgewater say that. Teddy Bridgewater said, man, I am supposed to be coaching high school football, but I'm out here playing football. And I'd rather be coaching. And that is such a letdown to our kids and our community and things like that because of what he had to go through and not be able to coach anymore. And he doesn't even want to be out there playing football. He'd rather be coaching the kids, and the rules won't allow him to do that. 100%, he isn't taking anything. He isn't gaining anything from him being a coach of these kids. This is all thing. He is losing money, and it's coming out of his pocket just to see kids succeed and help kids succeed. And I think that's a sad situation in itself with Teddy Bridgewater, but that's the life we live on. And if we don't fight and if we just sit back and let things happen and don't have a rhyme or reason why we do things and stand up for situations, man, that they will continue to run over us and have rules in a way to box us in. That's how life is. So we got a lot of common sense over here. Say what needs to be said. We pay attention. We don't just look at the things from what it is. You got to look deeper into things. And and dissect it. So, what do y'all think about Jaxson Dart and Russell Wilson? Do y'all think Jaxson Dart should be the starter for the regular season, the first game of the regular season, or should they start off with Russell Wilson? I, myself, saying Jaxson Dart, Brian Daboll will definitely do a great job with Jaxson Dart, whoever his quarterback is. But it's something about those old heads, man. You can't teach a new dog, old dog, new tricks, and Brian Daboll don't want to deal with that. So until then, we'll see what's going on next time. But it's been an exciting preseason, and hopefully it continues to be fun. Until Thursday night football starts, the Dallas Cowboys against the Philadelphia Eagles. I'll see y'all next time. Saturday Night Vibes is your boy, Mr. Pick 6, the record-breaking cornerback, 50 interceptions in 10 seasons. And you know they're going to put me in the Hall of Fame because we taking off. Hit that like button. Send me some messages. Y'all talk to me. Y'all know I like to talk back. And we out, man.